The Great Oak. Once upon a time, a couple was exercising along a walking path in the woods they had used many times over the years. Only this time, a tree had fallen after a storm, blocking the path, but it led to a hidden path where the tree once stood. Instead of turning around and heading back to the start, they decided to explore the new path and see what may be hidden from view. This is their story. Andy pushed the brush aside and kept a mindful watch on the barely visible path as he and his girlfriend Anne came across a great oak tree that blocked their journey any further. Encased in the bark of the tree was a figure of a man whose upper body and head projected out far enough to be visible. He was alive, staring at the couple, when the man said, "After all these years, I have been found." "Who are you?" Andy asked. "And how are you alive inside that tree?" "My name is Spencer. I was murdered on this trail many years ago and left for dead. I was buried under an oak, and it sprang forth and carried me up into the light within its wood and bark." "How many years ago? I don't recall a missing person reported in these woods." "Decades ago," Spencer replied. "I was killed in the mid-'70s by a stranger who had sought my help. I don't know his name, but I found I wasn't the only one he killed. This forest is filled with the bodies of those he murdered." Anne noticed another tree nearby, with a woman's body jutting out from its center. Her head hung down, and she seemed to be sleeping or dead. But, like Spencer, she was encased in a tree surrounded by bark. "I do recall a serial killer that was executed back in the 90s, Anne replied. "He was responsible for the deaths of over 30 people, and he disposed of the bodies in the woods. Do you recall his name at all?" "I believe he went by Jack, or Jackson. I can't remember. He was tall and had the body of a linebacker," Spencer replied. "Jackson Tiller," Anne replied. "He was put to death by lethal injection. I recall reading an article about him in the paper." "Sounds right," Spencer replied. "But that begs the question. Why are you and his victims encased in trees?" Anne asked. "He was into the occult, if I recall. Before he killed me, he performed some sort of a ritual and chanted a prayer I didn't understand." "How did you manage to survive all these years in these woods? How did you stave off the animals and the weather?" Andy asked. "Must have been part of the spell he cast upon us. Fuck, I don't know," Spencer replied. "He stuck a knife in me and let me bleed to death while he watched. That's all I really know." "We will report that we found you to the authorities and rescue you as soon as possible," Anne said. "If you do, we will all surely die," Spencer replied. "We all live unnatural lives here, and if anyone separates us from the trees that bind us, it will end the spell, and we will all wither to dust." "But you'd rather live as prisoners, forever trapped within the wood and bark of these trees, never to encounter people again?" Anne asked. "The alternative would be death. What would you choose?" Spencer asked. "I would choose death over a sentence of solitary confinement," Anne replied. "I wouldn't wish your fate on my worst enemy. Maybe there is a way. At least let someone try. Think of your family." Spencer thought for a moment and looked into Anne's soulful eyes. "I will allow it, but I have little faith I will survive and see another day."